Greetings, Mason Storm here. On today's episode, we're going to be making some fritters, but we're not making the kind with fruit in them. We're making the kind with cheese curds in them. Fantastic, I know. Super amazing, absolutely. To begin with, I have half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of salt. Forgot the salt. Pretend you saw it here. It'd be better with it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of sugar. I have 1 package of cheese curds here. I think it's about 1.5 cups. And 1 1/4 cups of flour. To begin with, we're going to get out our large mixing bowl here and begin to add our fantastic dry ingredients that are super awesome. That way we have the best chance of creating something magical and special. The sifter is used to make sure we have no crazy clumping and it's all smooth. The real star to this show is the nutmeg. It's just fabulous with the cheese curds. We use our whisk to combine our ingredients, and then we proceed to add in our wet ones to the center. And we're not going to be using our whisk for this because it's useless, so we'll get rid of that. And once we have all of our wet ingredients added in, so our eggs and our milk, we'll proceed to mix and combine using our old wooden spoon to reach a level of perfection. Don't overmix, just enough till it combines and it's not all super lumpy. And once we have it all starting to combine up and it's thoroughly mixed, we'll proceed to add in our cheese curds. Now, a lot of my cheese curds in this, they were a little bit big, a little bit longish. And if you can, try to break them up a little so they're not super big, because they're not going to cook the greatest in the fryer if they're too big. Well, actually, it'd probably be fine, but it won't look as pretty, and that's kind of important. So now we can move over to the stovetop. And here we are at the stovetop. I just have a pot here with some vegetable oil in it. We're going to heat that up to 350 degrees. So we'll turn a little bit of heat on there, and then we'll get out the old thermometer. Now, this thermometer is terrible and has to be the worst thermometer I've ever seen in my life. So it's silvery reflective material on top of the scale. So it's really hard to see. And you can only see the mercury in the thermometer on a certain angle. And of course, at that angle, you can't see the scale at the same time. So it's kind of almost useless, but better than nothing. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Either way, once you get yourself up to temperature, you want to have a good setup. You don't want to be reaching all over the place. So a plate with some paper towels on it to put the stuff when it's done. A holder for your wooden spoon so you don't get oil all over your stove top. And then a nice spoon to scoop out some of the mixture that we're going to be deep frying. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So just reach into the bowl, get about a spoonful or so, and then we'll go over top of the pot and see if it dribbles in. If it doesn't go in dribbly, what you want to do is use your wooden spoon to scrape it out of the other spoon. And that works pretty good as well. So once you have your stuff in there, it only takes a couple minutes for it to go golden brown, and then you just use your wooden spoon to kind of tip it over, and that allows you to cook the other side. It's pretty quick. Now the other thing is too, I mean, you know, keep an eye on your temperature. If it gets too hot, it cooks insanely fast and it's really easy to burn it. So adjust accordingly. Try to keep your temperature somewhat consistent. It's not going to take very long to do all of these. And I'm just using a small pot here, so I don't have to use like a gallon of oil, because that would be kind of unnecessary. It's better just to do a whole bunch of different batches and use a little bit less. Because it's so quick anyway, it doesn't really matter. Maybe if you're making like, you know, tons of these, like if it was like a wedding or something, you had to make a couple hundred of them, yeah. Getting the big pot to go on, that would probably be the way to go. Or renting an actual deep fryer. I guess that would make a lot more sense too. Either way, once you get your color right, pull them out, put another one in, and just keep going at it. These things taste amazing. The way that the cheese, like if you have them while they're kind of hot, the cheese is kind of is like melted, and then you got like that taste of like the nutmeg, because cheese curds typically aren't the most flavorful of, well, cheese products or whatever, but you get the cheese and the nutmeg going together, and oh, that's just a fabulous. I highly recommend making these things. They're just so tasty. I don't know if you can really eat a whole lot of them because you kind of get overwhelmed, but definitely a few of them makes a really good tasty snack. And, you know, feel free to serve them at a wedding. I think it'd be interesting. I'm not entirely insane, only partially. So that's this. So if you ever made these or got any ideas for other crazy fritters, let me know in the comments below. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. And until next time, stay awesome.